Welcome to TC Tiawi Talks, Tia Chucha Centro Cultural, located on Tataviam land in the northeast San Fernando Valley, is rooted in ancestral knowledge, culture, the arts, literacy, and social justice as a means to personal and communal transformation. It is a place where hearts and minds have united for change for over 19 years. Join us as we share the stories of personal transformation and our understanding of the world that unites us as a community. We must remember that another world has always been possible. Tiawi, a Nahuatl word for adelante, to move forward. Like a spiral, together we move towards a better future, cognizant of the resiliency we carry from our past. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Tiawi Talks. I will be your host today, Melissa San Vicente, pronouns she, her. Today we will be talking about our Celebrating Words Festival. That's annual festival that Tia Chucha's Centros has. And actually, let me give you a brief introduction on the Celebrating Words Festival. Tia Chucha's Centro Cultural and Bookstore presented the first Celebrating Words Festival in 2005, and it is now the longest running literacy and arts festival in the San Fernando Valley. We are thrilled to present you with the 16th annual Celebrating Words Festival happening this May 28th, 29th, and 30th. As we emerge from a pandemic-imposed isolation, Tia Chucha's aims to provide a space for connection that supports the mental health and well-being of our community. This year's festival will feature immersive virtual programming and the drive-through experience focused on using the arts, literacy, and ancestral teachings as viable ways of healing and transformation. So we have two guest speakers with us today that are helping in organizing this wonderful festival this year. So I will let them introduce themselves.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karina Ceja. I also go by Ceja. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I'm coming to you from Pacoima, also Tataviam land.
My name is Karen Ugarte. I use she, her pronouns. I'm Tia Chucha's bookstore lead and also work on the From Trauma to Transformation project. I'm joining from Somar. It's good to be here.
Thank you for joining us. So I kind of wanted to start this off with an icebreaker question, and acknowledging that, well, this is our 16th annual Celebrating Words Festival. So I'm pretty sure, well, I know that have attended a couple. So I wanted to know, what is your favorite Celebrating Words Festival moment throughout the years that you've been attending?
Okay, I'll go first. I have two. I mean, I have many, but I'm going to narrow it down to two. The very first time I attended CWF, I was a community member. I didn't, work for Tia Chucha's. I just, was supporting. And I remember walking up and it was at Carrizo Park. And I remember going by myself. And it was such a great experience to see so many people coming together in the community. I had just, finished college. I feel like I was like immersing myself into community work. And that was a great year. I believe we had La Santa Cecilia performing and Las Cafeteras. So they were like, just a great big fun environment for families to go and attend. And so that was my very first time. And then my second favorite moment was 3 years ago when we did the very first book giveaway, and just seeing, the families and the children like getting free books and being excited, right? Seeing a long line for the books. I think that was like a really fulfilling moment for me, and, a really proud moment. So those are my two favorites.
Thank you, Karina. My first Celebrating Words Festival was in 2019 at Pacoima City Hall, which was the one I think you were just talking about. I had interviewed at Tia Chucha's to be an MSW intern, and I didn't really know too much about Tia Chucha's. I was just interested, and so I attended, and I remember sitting carving a stencil. There was a
Mhm.
screen printing that year, and I was sitting there, and it was raining, and I looked around, and I was like, "Oh, this is I would love to be a part of this." So that's one of my favorite memories. Is just looking around and seeing all the families. Like you said, even though it was drizzling, there was still a lot of people there, and it was beautiful.
That's amazing. I recall actually all of those celebrating words festivals, especially Santa Cecilia Cafeteras. And I think actually Very Be Careful was on that stage that year as well. And it's, yeah, we've always had a lot of musical bands, have graced our stage. And I think that's what's also kind of special about celebrating words. And yeah, our last one that we did in person, right, in 2019 was also
Mhm.
was beautiful. It was the first time that we did a book giveaway that large. So yeah, it's really exciting to see how CWF has kind of like evolved throughout the years and continues to grow, and this is for our community. So I'm really grateful for all the work that's been put in throughout the years. So um, so going on to the our next question. Um, we know last year when the pandemic hit, there was a lot of changes that we had to do, which are highlighted in our first episode of the Awi Talks, and we talk a little bit more in detail of what specific changes we had to do, and really how we were being affected by the pandemic and what that meant for our programming.
Mhm.
So here we are 1 year later, still adjusting to this continuing pandemic, and I'd like to know, like, what do you feel that you have learned from that experience of last year, and what differences are going to be in kind of like this year and how that's being presented to the community.
Yeah, that was last year was tough, right, for everybody, for the whole world, and we were, if y'all tune into that conversation, I personally just didn't know how we were going to move forward with something that, we're used to it being, we pride ourselves in it making it an outdoor festival, right? That's how Celebrating Where it started, and for me, it was hard to kind of visualize it in any other way. But of course, the Tia Chucha team always steps up to the plate, and I remember both Melissa and Michael, sharing all these ideas of how we could do it, and I was like, oh wow, let's do it, right? And so we really just adapted, and everything went virtual, almost everything. And we were committed to having the book giveaway, and the only way to do that was really to do something in person. And that's when the idea of this drive-through experience kind of came from. And so it's definitely been hard. And I think for me, what it has taught me, or what it reminds me, is the importance of connection, right? That one of the most beautiful things that happens at Celebrating Words Festival is having people engaging together with, whether it's the arts, whether it's in a different artistic expression. Everybody's like, engaged in something creative, engaged in something with other folks, maybe with people they don't know, right? Sitting next to each other at tables where you normally, you don't. And so that's definitely something I miss. And I look forward to having it again.
Thank you. Thank you. And I I really want to acknowledge and you putting in all that work as the coordinator, and under the pandemic, it was just a lot to figure out, but it's really beautiful how all of that came out, and kind of like shifting, as you said, shifting the entire kind of structure of what Celebrating Words Festival. But I think in the end, as you mentioned, acknowledging the importance and what's the mission and the goal of the festival, and kind of bringing community together, and bridging connection, and I feel like it was still able to do that in such an important time, especially what's going on. So yeah, thank you for that. So we do aim for this episode to be kind of like an informational episode if this is your first introduction to Celebrating Words Festival, and especially to kind of acknowledge what's happening this year and what we're bringing forth this year with Celebrating Words Festival. So do you think that you can give us a breakdown of all the activities that are specifically happening this year and in about a week and a half or so?
Yes, I can. It's really exciting. I think this year, you know, we learning from last year, we keep growing and we adapted really fast. So this year we have, you know, 2 times as many things as we did last year. And we will be starting off on Friday, May 28th, with traditionally with danza opening ceremony from Calpuli Temachtia Quetzalcoatl. And that'll be an opening to a lot of the live programming that's happening Friday, starting at 5 p.m. and going to Saturday, starting at noon, also extending throughout the whole day. We have, you know, the live programming will be going on through Facebook and our YouTube channels, which I think most of you know where to access them. And, you know, we have some author readings with great authors like Erika Buenaflor with Duncan Tonatiu. We also have Nicolas Centino. Also premiering a documentary that's been worked on. I think I'll let Karen talk a little bit more about that. But we're also premiering a documentary that weekend, and then we have a full, you know, schedule of creative workshops that we're offering as well. Everything from papel Picado 101 to watercolor, building your own sonaja, like some baby massage. So really the goal here is to provide something for everybody, right? So I really wanted to make sure that every single age group is covered, from like the little ones to, you know, the baby infants and even preborn, and then to, you know, the parents, the grandparents, everybody's included in this whole project. For Sunday, we have our drive-through experience, which started last year, and this year has really grown to something that I think I'm really excited to share with everybody. We're going to be really providing this, you know, what we do for Celebrating Words Festival, kind of in a smaller format, but definitely just as epic, just as fun. And we're going to be giving away 1,000 free brand new books, you know, hand selected by the CWF team. And we, you know, we're also going to have free art posters, free grab bags, free coloring book. We're doing our first coloring book ever. And then we also have an installation from Trauma to Transformation. So there's a whole lot of things going on. Everything is available on our website, everything from registration to details of everything. So I invite you all to check it out. And I'll hand it over to Karen to talk about all the other projects that she's been working on.
Yeah, so just to piggyback off of what you said, the documentary, so the documentary highlights the work of Luis Rodriguez, you know, our co-founder, and as he teaches writing in Lancaster Prison. And it's really under his mentorship that the creation of From Trauma to Transformation project started. And I guess I'll talk a little bit about From Trauma to Transformation. Like I said, it's inspired by Luis's work. It has been funded by the Arts for Justice Fund, who focuses on disrupting mass incarceration. And really the project focuses on changing the narrative that people can't change, or that, you know, once a criminal, always a criminal. And there's a whole podcast that I could say so much about From Transformation, but there's a whole podcast if y'all want to listen to it. But really, the project works with individuals who are currently incarcerated or previously have been incarcerated. It works with community and family that are impacted by incarceration. And it also works with individuals, communities, and larger society that are impacted by mass incarceration through like policy advocacy and awareness. and using the arts to do this. So using theater, using spoken word, creative writing. So that's kind of a very brief description of from trauma to transformation. But this year we're really happy to have an installation, like Karina mentioned. It's from trauma to transformation together we grow installation. It's an interactive educational exhibit created by young people and by community artist Christy Sandoval. Um, Christy's a LA-based artist, and their work consists of painting murals, both on her own and with community collaborations as well. She's also an educator, an advocate, and her work tells the stories of history and social justice, and they use a social justice lens throughout all their work. So we're really happy to be working with them. Yeah, we're excited to have you all there and to see it all come together. I'm not sure if I probably missed a lot of detail in that, but yeah, so we're excited about that. And like Karina mentioned, the book giveaway has grown. And if y'all are interested in seeing the specific titles or knowing more before, you can go ahead and check us out on Instagram or Facebook. There's been daily highlights of the books. So it's a good place to see that.
I wanted to share that for the book giveaway, everybody gets a book. Every single person that attends will get to take a book home, and we have such great selections that I think it might be hard to pick, and you might you'll have to pick one. But what I really loved about what Karen did this year with the bookstore is she made sure that all of those titles that we were ordering for the giveaway are available for purchase at our bookstore as well. So if there are any titles you see that day or any titles that come up and you're interested, you can always go to the bookstore and purchase them for yourself, and then save the one you want to get for free for the book giveaway.
Awesome. Thank you for all that information. I mean, I myself am excited for this installation. Can you tell us a little bit more about other highlights, or actually a little bit more about the drive-through experience?
Yes. So that installation that Karen's talking about will also be there. When we're saying immersive experience, it really means like, we want to have we want community to remember this experience. We want community to, it's a brief drive through because it's not gonna take too long, but we hope that they're memories that you remember forever and that you take with you. And so aside from the book giveaway and the art installation that we're having, we're gonna also have free grab bags. So we were able to acquire some Tia Chucha like merch. We have some cool like reusable bags, some frisbees to encourage people to go outdoors and get some movement in their bodies. All of that will be also given out at the drive-through experience. And all we're asking folks to do voluntarily is a survey. The surveys really help us just to understand who is coming, who we're serving, what the needs are for the community, right? And also, we are going to be, this year we were able to get a really cool grant from We Rise, which is an initiative from the Los Angeles Department of Mental Health. And they use the month of May, the month of mental health, to really, use the arts, community engagement to support people's mental health, to support collective, wellness. And so because of that, we were able to add a bunch of cool stuff to our festival, including some posters that we are going to get done. We were able to work with some international artists, Gina Barranco and Maldito Perrito from Mexico. Gina's from Dominican Republic. And so everything that we're doing, everything that's happening at that drive-through, everything is free. It will be given away for free. It's kind of like our gift to the community. And also, we're going to be printing our very first coloring book. I have been daydreaming about this for a really long time. And, you know, for this first one, we decided to go with like local Northeast San Fernando Valley artists. And, you know, the goal was to really take these themes of, you know, mental health, literacy, you know, cultural arts, and things that really promote community wellness and promote connection and creative engagement. And each artist, you know, kind of created their own piece of, you know, blank artwork that they're submitting for the coloring book. And what I really like about it is that it promotes, you know, creating more artists, right? Like the person that ends up coloring that is really finishing that masterpiece, is really finishing that piece of art. And so, so we're really excited, and you know, we'll also be giving away those coloring books. So make sure you join us. So the drive-through experience is May 30th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Bond G3 Academy here in Pacoima. And yeah, we'll be there waiting for y'all.
Thank you for that, Karina. So where right now, where can everybody find all the information to all the activities we're having, and actually how do they register for a workshop?
Ooh, good question, Melissa. So we did a really great job with the team this year to update our website. So we have a little tab on the tiachucha.org website, which is the Celebrating Words Festival page. And if you go there, you will find all of the information, all of the descriptions for each workshop, for each presentation and program that we're having, the times, and the workshop registration links are also on the website. What we were able to do this year is we added a sub tab so that we translated every single description so that folks that don't speak English or Spanish speaking can access that information, and then you can register on the main page. And yeah, that registration will then send you an email confirmation, and in the email confirmation you will see that we have a schedule for your materials pickup. So the workshops that are actual like Zoom workshops, you will be able to get free art materials for that. And the way to get that information is to pre-register. So we highly encourage you go to our website, you register for the workshops. The ones that are being live, you don't need to register for. You just have to log on, you know, to your YouTube or the Facebook, and you'll see it on your screen. It'll come up.
Thank you. Right. All these, I think it's also important to mention that all these workshops on Zoom, we understand if people aren't able to make it at the exact time. So they actually will be recorded as well and uploaded onto our YouTube channel to be, you know, accessed after that. And in case anybody wants to, you know, check out some of the workshops, but were unable to make it during that time. So we are coming to the end of our episode. We really aimed for this to be an informational episode on this year's Celebrating Words Festival. So to kind of close out, are there any last words? And specifically, what are each of you most excited about for this year's Celebrating Words Festival?
I can start. I guess for last words, we are excited to see you all there, whether that be virtually on YouTube later. We can't really see you, but you can always leave a comment and let us know what you thought about the workshop. And I'm most excited about seeing the From Trauma Transformation Together We Grow installation come together. I've been lucky enough to see a sketch already, and I'm excited to see it come together and for y'all to see it as well.
Okay, well, as I didn't introduce myself earlier, but I'm the festival coordinator, and just being behind the scenes of all of this, I'm excited about everything. I'm excited to just be able to do this, to be able to, you know, be entrusted by Tia Chuchas to put together such a valuable event for the community, right? We are the longest running arts and literacy festival in the San Fernando Valley, and that's an important thing to be proud of, right, as an organization. And so everything that was put together intentionally for the community. And so I hope that you all get to enjoy it. And I'm excited about everything. Whatever I can't see live, I'm gonna catch it after, like Melissa shared, on YouTube, um, and check it out. And I guess one little announcement that hasn't made it out there yet and hasn't really like been publicized, because we are finalizing the little details, is we have confirmed La Marisol of La Santa Cecilia to do a little, she's going to put together a cuarteto type son jarocho performance at Chuchas, and it's going to be, our closing entertainment for the virtual programming. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for all the things coming together. I hope conversations, come up from this. I hope that people get to see each other, connect, engage, and if you take a workshop and you love it and you keep doing it and you become so good at it, like that's what we're about. You become an artist in the future, like because Elvia taught you watercolor. Those are the things that are so important to me. So I hope you all get to join us, and we'll be there ready.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That is very exciting news to have La Marisol join us in true celebrating words fashion of, just having that musical and having the music just kind of also, be also important that we want to highlight. Of course, along with everything else. And that's what's beautiful about celebrating words. So thank you to both of you for joining us today. Thank you to all the listeners joining us for this Diawi Talks episode. We look forward to having you potentially join us virtually on Friday, May 28th or Saturday, May 29th. Or if possible, if you're a little bit closer, then join us at the drive-through and book giveaway experience on Sunday, May 30th at Vaughn G3 in Pacoima. So thank you again for joining us. Please follow us at the Chuchas in all social media. And yes, thank you for joining us this episode.
Thank you all. Thank you for having me.
Thank you again for joining us. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow Tia Chuchas on social media. Please support our online bookstore. You can find the links in our podcast bio. Stay safe, stay creative. Tiawi.